There was so much hope and great expectation.
Cheryl Lee is thinking back to late April, that historic meeting between North and South Korea, filled with promise, a summit that paved the way for an historic meeting with the U.S. But the past month has been marked with diplomatic drama. President Trump announcing today the June 12th meeting with Kim Jong-un is back on, after abruptly canceling it 1 week ago.
I think the skepticism is even higher. And although there was that skepticism, I think there was a lot of hope. Because of course we want peace in the Korean Peninsula. Now people are saying, okay, it's great that now it's back on again, but really, what are they going to be able to accomplish? We, the U.S., know what we want, and that's a complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. But in terms of what is it that the North Korean leader is willing to give up, I don't think we fully know.
I think it is a good thing that they're talking. I think dialogue is better than the miscalculation that comes from not understanding where the other party's coming from. So I think it's good that they're doing the outreach. I think the real test comes after that, when, like I said, both sides don't get exactly what they want. What does a realistic compromise look like? And that's what's, I think, very unclear at this point.
Washington Congressman Adam Smith, ranking Democrat on the House Armed Services Committee, says his #1 policy goal remains containing the threat of North Korea.
Ultimately, the big concern for me is that we maintain a credible deterrent to North Korea taking military action. By maintaining a credible deterrent, that stops North Korea from acting and hopefully stops a war from happening on the Korean Peninsula.
A conflict that all parties want to avoid, no one more than those closest and connected to the region.
It's my motherland, and it's hometown for my family and friends, and so I really hope that we can work toward peace.